What have I done? Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Today we have another technology slash CRT drop-off. I was debating on how I wanted to make this video. I think the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to go through some of the more heavy hitters in the group, and then kind of do separate videos grouping together some of the more similar TVs. So for example, I'm going to do a video on this Sony today, and I'll probably do a separate video on this wood grain one and that wood grain one, and then probably these ones all together. As for today, we're going to be doing a review on the Sony that just got dropped off to me today. I'm very excited to take a look at it, and I'm going to show you guys what it's all got to offer, some of the flaws it actually has, and what I think I can get for it for selling it on Facebook. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Alright, so up first in the lineup of technology drop-off, we have the Sony Trinitron, 27 inches. And ladies and gentlemen, this is about as good as it gets for a TV that doesn't have component inputs. Unfortunately with this TV, it does have its problems. You can see we have a crack in the plastic here. I'm assuming it's because it was dropped at some point. And I'll show you in a minute. It messed this set of composite inputs up a little bit. Nothing too crazy, but just a little bit. And then you can see it's definitely got some marks on it. You know, this isn't anything that's gonna affect its performance, but you know, it just makes the TV look a little less good, I guess. You can see there as well. So back here, as you can see, we have our normal RF set of composites with S-video, of course, which is, you know, a big selling point, obviously, when it comes to a CRT. If it doesn't have component, it's especially a bigger draw. And then these ones over here are not actually for video. These are for monitor out and audio out, which is kind of disappointing. There's only 2 sets of composite in, but it is what it is. You know, it's a Sony. People will still buy them. And I should tell you, for anybody who's new to CRTs, Sony's, they're about as good as it gets when it comes to getting a good price for them. I personally don't believe that they are the best quality, at least in general, with like ones like this, but they're very good. You know, don't get me wrong. I mean, there's a reason people like them, but I do think that there's better out there. So let's go ahead and just power this on and show you what we're working with here a little bit. All right, so, you know, this is what it looks like when it turns on, the classic snow. Let me go ahead and turn that volume down. And as you can see here, when we go to input, we got video 1 and this is video 2. It's just got a different label. It does have the menu, which is always nice. You know, pretty bare bones, but pretty good. And I do also have the remote, so that's always a good selling point with the TV as well. It does work as well. I don't have batteries in it right now, but it does work, so that's good. All right, so here we've got the famous test suite hooked up. I'm actually kind of surprised because I was having issues with these inputs on the front being plugged in, but it's actually not giving me any problems right now, which is nice. So, you know, let's go ahead and test this out on the famous test suite. All right, there's everybody's favorite little character. Let's try out some test patterns. Show off the geometry a little bit. So it's not the greatest, unfortunately, with the grid pattern. You can see on this side, it's not perfectly lined up. You know, it's nothing that anybody is gonna notice, but you know, if you're super picky about your CRTs, maybe it's something that might upset you. We'll try the scroll test. You know, looks as good as ever, you know. Sony's might not be my personal favorite brand of TV, but can't deny they give a very good image. It's very consistent, I will say. Because that's the thing. I don't believe Sony should be considered the best for CRT quality. But what they are the best in is having consistency. They have very good consistency when it comes to all their TVs. You know you're going to get something good when you get a Sony. It's never going to be bad. It could be really, really good. It could be good. It's never going to be bad. All right, let's get this sound test going. Left speaker's good. Right speaker's good. Very nice. You can see the colors are looking pretty good as well. You know, it's a good TV. It is a good TV. There's not much to say about it. The back inputs work as well. I tested those all out, but I just wanted to give you guys a good image on screen. So let's go back to the Wii menu real quick, just so you can see what it looks like when it just boots up a normal home screen. Yep, it's about as good as it gets. Not perfect, but very, very good. But yeah, I mean, it's not the most perfect Sony I've ever had, but it's darn good. And like I said, that's what you're kind of getting into when you get a Sony. It's going to be good for sure. And there's one thing that CRTs will always have going for them, is no matter how many broken pieces of plastic, no matter how many nicks and scratches it's got, no matter, like I said, no matter how much broken plastic it's got, they just don't make TVs like they used to. If this was a flat screen TV and it had equal the amount of damage this thing has clearly gone through, it would not be here to tell the tale. But yeah, this is part one of my recent technology drop-off. I still have a lot of stuff to go through. I'm probably going to group a couple of them together. But when you get a Sony, you kind of got to make it its own video, just because, like I said, it's not my favorite brand, but everybody just loves Sony. You can't go wrong with Sony. And be sure to stay tuned for my technology part 2 video, because oh boy, there's a lot to talk about with all these dropped off TVs. But thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it, and have a good rest of your day. Bye bye.